If you end up liking this video and finding it helpful, then give it a thumbs up and leave your comments below about what your experiences are of using this video. And also, if you haven't already, click the subscribe button and the bell button near the subscribe button so that you can be kept informed when future videos like this go live.
As you close your eyes, I'm going to tell you about a rabbit who came to tea. This was no ordinary rabbit. This was Malcolm, the magic rabbit. So, with your eyes closed, you can listen to me reading this story. And while I read this story, you can begin to feel relaxed. And as I read, you can imagine this story and begin to drift off to sleep. And as you drift off asleep, you can continue this story in a dream. And my reading will help you fall asleep. It will help you feel sleepy. It will help you feel tired. Malcolm lived inside a magician's hat, and the hat lived on the magician's head. The magician used to spend every day doing magic tricks for children. He would make ribbons appear in his hands, and coins appear from behind the children's ears. But what the children most loved was when he would show them his magic hat. The magician would show that the hat was empty, and then with a magic word, abracadabra, and a wave of his magic wand, there would be a puff of smoke, and Malcolm the rabbit would appear out of the hat. The magician didn't know where Malcolm came from, or where he went when he put him back in the hat. All he knew was that when he said abracadabra and waved his magic wand, Malcolm would appear in a puff of smoke. Every evening the magician went home for his tea. He would take his hat off and leave it on a shelf by the front door until he next went out to do magic for the children. What the magician didn't know was that the hat was magical. Inside the hat was a magical world. Each day after the magician's last show, Malcolm travelled deep down into the hat and went back home. As he travelled deeper and deeper into the hat, he became less aware of the magician's world and started to become more aware of his own. His land was one where trees grew upside down, and the sky was bright pink. When Malcolm arrived home, he found a letter waiting for him on the doormat. "You're invited to afternoon tea at 3 from Sybil the squirrel," Malcolm read. Afternoon tea? That does sound nice, Malcolm thought to himself as he wiped his feet on the doormat and closed the front door behind him. Malcolm hadn't been to afternoon tea for a long time. He wondered what he should wear. He tried on 5 different pairs of shoes and 4 different t-shirts before he decided on the right one for him. He didn't have long to get ready, and he knew deep down that he was going to enjoy his afternoon tea. Once Malcolm was dressed for afternoon tea, he left his house to go and visit his friend, Sybil the squirrel. Sybil had short ears and a bushy tail, and she lived in the tallest upside-down tree in the land. Malcolm hopped along the blue path past the green upside-down oak tree before turning left. From here he could see Sybil's tree at the end of the road. He hopped towards the grand upside-down tree, where he found a doorway. He knocked on the door 3 times. Knock, knock, knock. On the 3rd knock, he could hear Sybil's voice. "Hello, who is it?" "Hi, it's me, Malcolm." Just then, the door creaked open, and Malcolm could see stairs leading down into the base of the tree. There were 10 steps for Malcolm to follow, and each step led Malcolm deeper and deeper into the tree. The stairway was lined with twinkling lights, sparkling and flashing with a rainbow of colours. And at the bottom was a beautiful glow coming from a room at the base of the tree. Malcolm excitedly hopped down the stairs towards the glowing room. The stairs were numbered to let visitors know how many steps they had left to walk down. He stepped onto step 10, then 9, and 8. He didn't know what the afternoon tea was going to be like, or what the room at the bottom of the stairs was like. 7, 6, 5. He was hopping down the stairs deeper and deeper into the tree. He began to feel like he was going to a party. 4, 3. Malcolm was now nearly at the bottom of the stairs, and he could see that the room was glowing with a soft light, and he could hear a voice talking in the room. Malcolm continued to hop deeper and deeper down into the base of the upside-down tree. 2, 1. Malcolm reached the bottom of the tree, paused for a moment, and then stepped into the room. Sybil was sat in the room at the end of a long table. On the table were lots of plates, full to the brim with small sandwiches, cakes and sweets. Chugging around the outside of the table was a small steam train, pulling carriages laden with tasty food. Malcolm's mouth watered at the sight of all the food. As he sat down with Sybil to eat, he wondered why she was having this afternoon tea, and why she had invited him. But before he could ask, he already had a tasty cake in his mouth. It looked so nice, he couldn't help himself. These are good," he said, talking with his mouth full. "Malcolm, I need your help," Sybil said. "I've lost my favourite toy. You know magic, and you know how to find things. I need your help. I need you to help me to find my favourite toy." Malcolm did know magic, but he didn't know whether he could find Sybil's favourite toy. Still, he was going to try. He asked Sybil what the toy looked like and where she had last seen it. Sybil told Malcolm She had had her favourite toy this morning, but when she got home, she had lost it. She tried to look for it, but couldn't find it. Malcolm said he would try to find it for her. Malcolm and Sybil finished their afternoon tea. Malcolm put some of the cakes and sweets into his pockets and set off in search of Sybil's favourite toy. Malcolm wanted to find Sybil's toy before his bedtime. Malcolm looked along the street. Sybil's toy wasn't there. He looked behind upside-down trees. It wasn't there. He looked around the bushes, and it wasn't there either. Malcolm didn't know where else to look, so he decided to use magic. He had seen the magician making coins appear from behind children's ears. And he thought maybe he could make Sybil's favourite toy appear from behind her ear. Malcolm went back to Sybil. He said a secret magic word before reaching behind Sybil's ear, where he found Sybil's favourite toy appearing in his hand. Sybil was so excited and grateful to Malcolm. She gave him a big hug and an extra big slice of cake to take home with him. Malcolm walked home, eating the big chunk of cake and feeling great about helping Sybil. This made him smile and think to himself, I'm going to be kind and help people more often. As the sun set in the pink sky and the shadows drew long and thin, Malcolm arrived home, feeling tired and sleepy, and with a big yawn, Malcolm went to bed, falling deeply asleep.